Hey, welcome back to Real Housewife Recaps. Today I'm covering Season 12, Episode 13, Real Housewives of New York, Not Feeling Jovani. Whoa, what an episode. I am so glad to be back talking about Real Housewives of New York. I thought it was amazing. I'm not really feeling Beverly Hills this season. I'm very much feeling New York, and I can't wait to talk about it with you guys. So we start the episode at Dorinda's house in the Berkshires, so we know it's going to be a good episode. I hear some people saying they don't love the Berkshires episode. I actually do. They're trapped in the house. They're usually drunk. I think it's hilarious. That's usually when some of the best stuff happens. I personally love this house. I know it's not for everybody. I love the exterior. I think it's really pretty. And I love this blue room. I think she does add a bit too much color to it. I would probably ditch the pink stuff, but I love the blues. I'm just drawn to it. I think it's beautiful, but I don't know. I know. You guys might not be into it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you like this house? Do you like Bluestone Manor? Let me know. Okay, so we have a funny moment of Dorinda in the bed. She's calling different people to talk to him about coming out to the house. Can we just talk for a second about Sonja? Did you guys realize she had this Sonja in the city planning thing? I know she had used that word before, but I didn't realize she actually had a business of that? Question mark. Do you guys know about that? Am I just out of the loop? I thought it was really funny. So she gets everybody's voicemail and she throws her legs up in the air, as you do. Then we cut over to Sonja and her apartment, which it's so weird still not to see her in that townhouse. Elise is coming over, so they sit. Well, first they look at pictures, and Sonja is like extra spastic about her past. I mean, she looks fantastic, but my gosh, she lives in the past. So Elise tells this insane story about that place that they were talking about. I believe it's called Omar's, and how Ramona said, how she said she went to check on Ramona, and Ramona said, "You can't sit here, you have to leave." That's such crap. If that's true, like, seriously, that is high school behavior. That's middle school behavior. That's so rude. Ramona, you're the worst. I'm so glad everybody's finally seeing, I don't know why it took so long, but they're seeing through her BS and calling her out on it. And according to, sounds like in social media, they're all at each other's throats. So I think it should be a good reunion, and curious to see how Ramona talks her way out of this. I've been neutral on Elise in the past. A few of you guys in the comments say that you really like her. I gotta tell you, I'm liking her a lot more after this episode. She's pretty good. We'll talk about it later. There was some moments where it seems like she kisses up to Ramona. I personally don't think that's what it is. I think I get that way too, where I hate confrontation. So I'd rather just like faux apologize and move on. But yeah, so Ramona's bitch, and Elise is calling her out on it. Elise tells her story of her husband coming home and Ramona being all over him and flirting with him in her bathing suit, and even like trying to give him an awkward massage. And Elise brings up a good point, which is, could you imagine if I did that to her? Hell, Ramona won't even like acknowledge that there are other girls in her presence when she's flirting with a guy. So could you imagine? She does that weird zone out, ignore you thing. So I wish Elise would do that, because that'd be really funny. So it's the day after Lou's Halloween party. We see Leah and her crazy voodoo hair meeting up with Lou and with Ramona. So here Ramona is trying to say that Dorinda's in mourning, and that's why Dorinda acted like that with the speech and stuff. And Lou and Leah both say, no, they're upset because they felt used, talking about Sonja and Dorinda and what Ramona did to them at that party, that weirdo party planner place. Ramona says, maybe they're upset because they don't have 50 friends. Ugh. Even Lou said, give me a break. And we all know Lou is completely delusional about her own popularity and stuff. We have a scene of Dorinda and Lynn, her assistant at the Berkshires. Dorinda's telling Lynn not to bring Ramona things. Dorinda to camera says, Ramona has an agenda. How can I look the best and everyone else look the worst? Her agenda is me, me, me. I have to say, Dorinda really is not my favorite person this season. While I've loved her in the past, she's just really disappointing to watch this season. But she makes an excellent point. That's exactly, I couldn't put my finger on it, but I think she's right. Ramona is always trying to look the best, and everyone else, she's trying to make the look the worst. So, good for Dorinda for calling her out on it. I wish she'd say it to her face. And I have to say, look at Dorinda's wild confessional look. This is wild. So we have a funny scene of Sonja and Leah arriving at Bluestone. They're having trouble getting in the house. They have to pee. Dorinda's giving them a tour, and this is where I have to say I hate this wall color so much. What do you guys think? I was just saying how much I like this house. I just don't dig this green wall paint. It would bug the crap out of me. And what about this disco ball right in the foyer? So, I think that's very strange. Also, we see Dorinda and her Missoni rug. But do you see these socks here that Dorinda's wearing? Her Gucci socks? Yeah, I looked them up. Do you know how much these cost? $155 for socks. What? Then we see Lou and Ramona riding together to the Berkshires. I think Ramona is being a kiss ass here because, again, going back to what we said last week, when everybody else is against her, she tries to buddy up with somebody. She can only fight with so many people at a time. They arrive and Ramona hugs and gives Dorinda a kiss and offers her flowers and says she wanted to make peace with her. So she takes them through the house on a tour, and Lou is sleeping in the fish room. Dorinda, quite funny, has put the shark in the bed with Lou. Lou's all over it. She even put a swordfish in Ramona's bed, which I thought was really funny. We have a scene in the kitchen here where Leah is pulling up Elise's social media. She shows where Elise put, "It's all fun and games until someone pisses me off." Apparently that was directed at Ramona. There's some back and forth about blocking each other and unfriending each other and stuff like that. So it sounds like they've had a go of it. Elise arrives and she greets everybody. It's very awkward because her and Ramona don't even make eye contact. And then Dorinda gives her a tour of the house and kind of pulls her aside. And they're talking about Ramona's behavior. Dorinda to camera says that Ramona's pissed that Elise isn't following her rule book. So they're all gathered around talking, and it comes up about what Ramona did to Elise. Ramona tries to explain why she's an asshole and uninvited Elise, and Leah to camera says she's gaslighting Elise. Ramona tells Elise to lower her voice because of her father. And to that, I'm calling BS, because usually Ramona's the loudest one in the room that always needs attention. And when it's convenient for her, she whips that card out, and it's just wrong. And Ramona and Elise go back and forth, and when Elise makes a point, Ramona cuts her off and won't listen, and Ramona walks off. Lou says Ramona has selective memory and that she's the queen of making scenes. So they go talk some more in the kitchen. Nothing is really resolved, and once again, Ramona walks off. Meanwhile, in the other room, Lou is trying to make a point to Dorinda about the speech, which I hate to say it, but I actually agreed with Lou that the toast felt dark and scary. Sonja yells, "You're defending the devil," which was pretty funny talking about Ramona. But I think Lou had a good point. I don't like Ramona. She's my least favorite of the housewives. I think she's a terrible person and a garbage monster. But I don't think Dorinda's toast had a place at that party. I just don't. So Lou was trying to talk to her about it, and Leah even says there's no talking to Dorinda. You get your head chopped off. Meanwhile, Ramona keeps bringing up these 50 girls, saying she has 50 close friends. And Elise says, "You have a lot of social friends. If you think I'm on par with 50 girlfriends, you're delusional." And once again, Ramona walks off. So they go back into the living room, and there's debate over whether Ramona said, "Are you drunk or are you drinking?" And there's a flashback, and Ramona said, "You're drunk." And Ramona's denying it, of course. Dorinda says, "Sonja and I don't feel like you like being with us anymore." Ramona says, you were all drinking the sugar when talking about going to the party planner place. It was just a very strange interaction. So Dorinda brings it up and says, why would you not let someone sit with you at the table at Omar's? And Ramona always has an excuse, says, it wasn't my table. Ramona to Dorinda says, I get it. There's nothing to say. They laugh. They end up hugging. It was very weird. It felt totally fake. Then Elise comes over. This is where Elise kind of bugged me because, again, she feels like she's just kind of kissing Ramona's ass a little bit. So they fake hug. Ramona tells Elise that she's heavy when she sits on her lap, which is such crap. Dorinda and Ramona are talking about men. Dorinda tells Ramona it's good to be alone and to look for a strong man. Ramona to camera says, actually, Dorinda doesn't know how to meet a man. Ooh, that should be interesting. So the girls are being silly in the living room, talking about getting takeout, staying in and drinking. They look at Sonja's ass and they talk about that. So everybody is completely intoxicated, and this is where the shit hits the fan. Lou says, Sonja and I are doing a show together. Ramona yells, are you going to pay her? And Sonja says, no, she never effing pays me. And Lou, if you listen, actually says, shut the duck up. It does sound like she said duck in that one. She says the F word later, but she says duck there. Sonja to camera says, my girl Lou and I have a good time doing a performance, but I have a family to support. Lou says, I want to bring Sonja into my show because I love her. Dorinda and Ramona both say, yeah, but you should pay her. Sonja says she wants to exploit me. Oh, and this sets Lou off. She says, exploit you? I don't need you. Go F yourself. Dorinda says, because you have to pay her? And Lou says, I did pay her. I paid her $220. And then Lou says, I have major Broadway talent, actors and singers. I'm not going to pay Sonja Morgan more to take off her dress. Whoa. First of all, if that's what you're paying your performers, that's pretty crappy. I know she's got to be making a killing off this, off the merch and off the tour and all that. I mean, I've heard so many people saying it's sold out. It's terrible, but it's sold out. She's only trying to pay $220. So Sonja says, you don't value me. You gave me $225. That doesn't even cover my hair and makeup. And Lou says, you don't appreciate it, and I don't need you. Sonja says, she doesn't need me. Lou says, I don't need you. I have my own cabaret show, and it's very huge. And guess what? You're not a part of it. Lou walks off saying, you're done. I don't want you in my show, you bitch. Oh my God. Okay. Dorinda tells Sonja when she gets like that, stand up to her. Leah to camera says, I've heard about the diva thing, but I haven't seen it yet. Ooh, we've seen it and it rears its ugly head in this episode. Oh my goodness. So Ramona walks down the hall saying, that's not what she's saying, Lou. You're missing the point, Lou. Sonja's crying. Everybody's hugging her. Lou, meanwhile, is so full of herself, she keeps saying, I have my own cabaret show. I'm a very successful woman with a national tour. She's horrible, and I don't want her in my show. Dorinda keeps saying she's a warrior. She'll stand up for Sonja. Leah to camera says, I know Dorinda is a white witch, but there's some dark-ass energy right now, and I need to sage the shit out of Bluestone Manor. And that might be my favorite line of the whole episode. Dorinda comes in, and Lou says, that's a weak play. She's weak, and you do that, shame on you. You do this to someone who's been with you for your sobriety. Lou is rolling her eyes, but meanwhile the editors show the clips of how Sonja's been there for her, and Lou saying she'll never forget it. Lou, in the lowest possible thing she could possibly do, she walks in the room and says, you're worthless. She says, you're worthless, and I never want to see you at my show. You're not coming to my show ever, and it's to be continued. Oh my gosh, who says that? That is worse. I mean, you don't tell people they're worthless. That's terrible. So she got pissed that you're not paying her and you call her worthless? Wow. That is evil. That's awful. So it's to be continued. I cannot wait to see what happens. We have a flash of next time. We got Leah screaming. Ramona telling a guy she's sloppy and that she looks good, but that she's sloppy. Lou is telling Dorinda, you know everything. Dorinda says, you drunken fool, you have a mugshot of your drunkenness. Whoa. Lou says, you're a sick human being. Get over it. And she's apparently leaving the house. They fight around a door. Sonja talks to Leah about a prince she met and that she peed on him or something. Really curious to see about that. Some sort of bathroom clog. I don't want to know about that with Ramona. Heather Thompson is back. Holla! And she's back talking about Lou's show and Ramona complimenting her. And wow, I cannot wait to see what happens. Such a good episode. Such a cliffhanger. I want to see Lou and her full hideousness come out. And should be interesting. Well, guys, that is it for the episode. I am so loving New York this season. I really am. It's just so much better than Beverly Hills, I think. What do you guys think? I also cover Beverly Hills. I'm covering Below Deck Med, and I will be picking up Potomac. I'm covering last season Potomac. New season starts soon. And I can't wait. So thank you all so much for all the wonderful comments you guys leave. I love hearing your thoughts on the Housewives and on my recaps and everything. I really appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Oh yeah, follow me on Twitter. I'm at Real Recaps. Bye-bye.